setting new standards in podcast excellence. You have joined the WBT, fully focused on business and taxes. Here is your host, Michael Lodge.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. I'm glad you've joined me. It's a brand new day, almost the end of the week, and I'm happy it's here. I'm in the process of trying to sell my home, so we're going to talk about changes in our life. Be back with you in just a few minutes.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
So as I said, I'm in the process of selling my home here in South Carolina. And I'm moving to my new home in Palm Beach. And my new office is down there in Palm Beach. And I tell you, when you're so busy trying to do a whole bunch of different things, you have to adapt and you have to deal with change in your life. And I tell you, it's one of those aspects that makes you a better person. I tell you, this whole thing of living here in South Carolina for the last 2 years and getting this house ready to sell and learning everything about building a porch and tearing down the porch and rebuilding it again, hiring the right people and the wrong people, dealing with contractors, having to fire contractors, having to deal with a lot of acres. When you have a big property and you're having to deal with mowing it and trimming it and planting it and doing everything else, you learn so much. Now, in real life, what I do is I am a business guy. I consult with businesses and I do business mediation. And I also do all different types of mediation, from divorce to family issues to you name it. I have probably mediated it throughout my years. And even in that process, it's a learning process every time, because every set of individuals that come into my office are totally different from the last set of people. And it may even be the same circumstance, but the emotions and the feelings of individuals are totally different. So as a mediator, I have to learn to deal with change and dealing with issues and people's emotions and anger and everything else that comes through mediation. And then when I'm consulting with my business clients on various aspects of their finances to taxation, whatever it may be in business finance, I'm always constantly learning. It's that change process in life that you have to deal with. You always have to continue to change, and you have to continue to learn. You can't change unless you learn. If you're learning, it's much easier to change. I hear a lot of people on Instagram and Facebook and everything else touting the thing that you don't need to learn. Don't learn. Just focus on your cash flow. My dear friends, it doesn't work that way. If you're not constantly learning, then you have no cash flow. If you're not constantly trying to see how to do things in a different, or to take a different approach on business, you're not going to have that cash flow. It is about learning that you become a better business person, or you become a better mom or dad or father. But if you're not constantly changing, if you're not flowing, listen, I'll give you a good example. This podcast that I'm doing, I started almost 2.5 years ago. I'm at over 630 some episodes. Always focused on business, always focused on the ethics of business and how to do business better and how to deal with change and everything else that happens in a business that you may be doing. But this podcast, I knew nothing about it. Now, I saw that podcasting was becoming a really up-and-coming thing. And I was listening to dozens of podcasts at that time. And I thought, you know what? I don't think podcasting is that difficult. So I studied it. I bought the books on it. I bought the different reviews on equipment and everything. And then I did it. I just sat down and I did it. Now, I admit the first part of my episodes that I did were not the very best. But I learned and I changed as I went through the process of podcasting. Now, I look at where I'm at now. I'm being listened to all over the world, which I like. I like people from all over the world. And I get comments from all over this great planet. And then I look at all the various little cities that I did not even think that I would even be in. Simpsonville, South Carolina. Who would have thought that somebody would have been listening to me in Simpsonville, South Carolina? That's a very tiny town. And then one day I was looking at my stats and I saw people were listening to me in Iran. I thought, how in the world are they getting me in Iran? But it's the process of learning how to podcast. And I had never done it before. I take something back, though. I did take radio and television broadcasting one course in college, and I loved it. And I loved being on the college radio station. Even though it was a classical radio station, you always tried to zip it up a little bit to make it a little bit easier listening to people who were out there. Now, this was out in Walla Walla, Washington, which is way out in the wheat fields. Way out. What they're really known for is the Walla Walla sweet onions that you can pick up off the ground and eat it like an apple because it's so sweet. But with podcasting, I've learned how to do it. I've learned how to do it on my cell phone. I've learned how to do it in my studios here in my home and in my offices. But I found that reaching out through podcasting, I was able to talk to you and a whole bunch of 1,000 other people all at one time. So it was that learning experience. And there's always a constant learning experience. I'm always trying to get certified in something. I'm always trying to get go to classes that teach me something that will help my clients. Some of the classes I have to say, well, why did I even go? But there are other classes. I tell you, I went to a class. I've been doing it now for 2 years. This would be my 3rd year. And it's put on by South Carolina University here, Clemson University. And they probably have one of the best tax courses I have taken ever since 1984, since I've had to take tax courses. Clemson probably has the best. And you know when you go to those courses and you know you're going to learn something, you can't hardly wait to go. And the first year I thought, my gosh, this is a really good course. I can hardly wait to go until next year. And then as soon as it hit my email, I said, okay, I'm signed up. And so when it hits my email this year, I'm going to sign up again because it's such a dynamic course. The teachers are great. The textbook is great. And in 2 days, you get prepared to go on and for the next tax season. So when you find things like that, that's going to help you, that's going to teach you to be a better person in the field that you're in, do it. Constantly look for change. Constantly look for programs that are out there that can help you in this change and in your learning process to get you to that next step. No matter how old you are. I don't care. Listen, I am old. I am old. And now that, well, I'll tell you how old I am. I am 62 years old. Now at 62, I'm still trying to learn because I have so much to do. So this constant change, and I believe in constant change. You just can't sit down and be an old fuddy-duddy and not try and be better. Be better at what you do. I don't care even if you have to read a book a month. I did that for 1 year. It was a great experience. I did a book a month and then I wrote a book. And that was the other thing. I never thought I would write a book, but I sat down because I was touched by the subject of ethics. Because an ethical experience happened to me, and I thought, you know what, I got to get this all out of my system and write this stupid book. And so I wrote it. There are so many different things that I did not know I could build a porch. But on this house, the contractor built it so badly, I had to tear it down and rebuild it. I studied YouTube. I studied books. I would stand there in Home Depot asking questions. They all know me now at Home Depot in Easley, South Carolina. But listen, no matter how old you are or how young you are, it's this constant change that you need in your life. Do not be afraid of it. Grasp onto it, because you are going to become the best person ever in your community. Continue to learn. Continue to grasp onto knowledge that is going to help you, or help your family, or help your clients, or help your business. Continue this process of continually learning. Don't listen to these people on the social media where they're preaching cash now, cash flow, buy into this, buy this subject, pay $5,000 to go to my seminar. You can do it by just taking some time, devoting some time out of each day for learning. Just because you have a degree, you have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctorate degree, doesn't matter. You may think you've learned out. You've learned as much as you possibly can. I'm here to tell you there's more out there, because life and aspects of this world is changing constantly. New technologies, new techniques, new ways of looking at data is out there every single day, and it's changing every day. And you've got to be able to change with it. So grasp onto change and get to it. So that's it for today. It's all about change. I hope each and every single one of you are going to go out there and grasp it and change and learn as much as you possibly can. On any subject that you want. It can be a brand new subject. It doesn't need to be an old subject. It can be a brand new subject that you're interested in. It could be in coaching. It could be in baseball. It could be in business. It could be in law. It could be in philosophy. It has an abundance of topics out there that will make you a very well-rounded individual. That's it for the day on change. So, back to my book. Go out to Amazon.com. Look for the book, Ethically Thinking It's Not That Hard by Michael Lodge. That book is feeding my dogs. Help me out. If you have any questions on business and taxation, send me a text. best way to do it, send me a text at 818-252-5682. 818-252-5682. I answer every single text. Even if you're mean, I'll still answer. Talk with you soon. This is Mike Lodge for the WBT.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
This has been produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.